Wrestle hosting.
Welcome all, welcome to Women's Pro Wrestling Weekly, where we talk all things women, all things pro wrestling. We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're going to be doing the WPW Weekly Star of the Week. We're also going to do a Women's Wrestling Roundup, definitely breaking down some news, but we have a very, very, very special guest in with us today, the fabulous Lana Star.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, you guys.
Yay. So from WOW, but before we kind of get into all that, I also want to introduce my host. Yeah, I know, right? Social media manager for Xbox12360 and host from Mixed Match Challenge.
I know, tongue twister Barr. Today. Yes, that's me.
And host and backstage reporter for Women of Wrestling, WOW, and one of the hosts for AFTERBUZZ SmackDown Live, Gaby Loren.
That is me. Hi guys.
So how are y'all doing today?
Alive.
Oh.
We are here.
Alive and here.
Okay.
A lot of stuff to talk about, and I'm very excited.
A lot of stuff to talk about. So I'm going to just run through for everybody who hasn't been, keeping up. There's just so much wrestling out there. So we're just going to do a little women's roundup for you guys. So first up, we're going to start with Impact. So with Taya and Rosemary, it was an amazing match in the end. Taya and Rosemary, they're going at it. She was coming out, or they were both out of the ring. She was trying to get it in the ring before the 10 count. Right before that, it was a double count out. They have to pretty much do it again, which sets up for something, further on. Now, Allie's going to be defending her Knockout Championship next week, so something to look forward to. And in Ring of Honor, there were 2 matches, so they're actually doing the Women of Honor title tournament. That's going to be happening in a few weeks. So Tenille Dashwood, she faced Brandy Rhodes, who's going to be a guest on the show, by the way, so something to look forward to. She actually defeated Brandy, and then Sammy also squared off against Hannah, and who won that one? Oh, Sammy won that one. So they're going to be both advancing to the next round. So in WWE action for Raw, this was a pretty good one, and we'll kind of touch on it. So Absolution defeated Sasha Banks and Bayley. This whole friendship thing is kind of weird. Asuka defeated Alexa Bliss, and everybody saw everything that happened last week. So this definitely sets up for Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss happening WrestleMania. You guys excited about that?
Oh yeah, and just based off what we saw on Monday night, when they were in the audience going at it, she came out as a surprise. Nia Jax, it was crazy. So I'm very excited.
Which leads us to the poll question. So the poll question is, who are you rooting for? So who do you think is going to win in WrestleMania? Will it be Alexa Bliss or Nia Jax? So we're going to be having that up for you guys at the end of the show, so definitely vote on it. And also let you know what happened to the last poll last week, closer to the end of the show. Then in SmackDown, it was okay. Obviously, Daniel Bryan, that was kind of the biggest news for everything. Naomi and Becky went against, they defeated Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan. Okay, by pinfall. Natalya and went against Charlotte. Nothing really happening there. Then in NXT, Lacey Evans and Dakota Kai, they squared off for some action. I believe Lacey won. No, Kai won. Sorry, my bad. Amber Moon came up because she came back from an injury, and she actually is going to be going up against Shayna. So it's going to be a kind of
for
good,
NXT Takeover.
For NXT Takeover.
Oh, that's going to be.
That's going to be a good one. Shayna's kind of been improving a lot, so we're definitely looking forward to that. And Lucha Underground, I know it's not on, but there has been some rumors. Did you guys hear about these rumors? Johnny Mundo and Taya, they got married on Lucha Underground.
On Lucha?
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Wait, they weren't supposed to get married till this summer.
That's the rumor.
Oh my goodness.
So that's the rumor that kind of happened. So I don't know
if she's going to be here next week, so we'll get some more insight.
Yeah, we'll find out. So I don't know if it was the fake wedding or the real wedding, or
probably
they're
a fake
engaged. So yeah,
wedding. Try preparing.
You never know. So Lucha Underground, that's going to be coming season 4, 20 episodes. That's going to be happening in the summer.
Woohoo!
Woo! That was fast. And now let's kind of hit the news.
Okay.
So former AfterBuzzer and NXT, or formerly of NXT, Christy St. Cloud has been let go from NXT, but you had a really good relationship with her.
Yeah, right, Christy was actually my mentor. I'm always going to say that, no matter what. She was the first person that she called. We had a meeting with her on the phone. She gave me the rundown with AfterBuzz. She was the first person to put me on air. And honestly, I wasn't ready to be on air, but she was like, "Hey, come on in." Did a lot of stuff with her.
And that was when you were interning.
I was interning, yeah. And then she brought me into X-Pac, and now where we are. And wow, she did a hell of a job at with WWE. But from what I know, she posted on her YouTube page saying that she's going to go more in depth on what happened. So, of course, she has friends here, but I'm not going to say what she said.
Right.
But as what was reported, it was on her terms that she was able.
Well,
WWE didn't release her; it was her choice.
Yeah, it definitely seemed that
So-
it's her choice, because you know how WWE does sometimes when they release
Right.
people that didn't know what was happening. It was more like, this is the tweet, and everybody else is just
And
like,
that's what that's
what's happening? Yeah.
and I think that's why she made this YouTube YouTube video to make sure to clear the air a little bit before, because we know how press releases work. We
Right.
know how that stuff works. So, overall, I hope to see her come back to AfterBuzz.
Yeah, we had a lot of
Total Divas,
tweets.
Total Bellas,
Yeah.
fun stuff. So I'm very excited. Hope to see her soon.
Yeah, we had a lot of comments on YouTube for other wrestling channels, hoping that she comes back. We don't know if she's going to come back, but I'm sure she'll visit for sure if she doesn't want to come back full time. So we'll kind of see how, all that goes. But if she did it on her terms, then, that's the best way to go. You've been there, you've done that, now you can move on and hopefully bigger and brighter things for her in the future.
Yeah, and she said she was going to make a big announcement soon on her YouTube video. So who knows? Maybe she actually got a bigger and better job if that's possible, in LA.
LA is the place. Yeah. Now your voices have been heard and changes have been made. I have to say sorry to you, Gaby. I wasn't a believer.
About what?
Moolah.
Oh, okay. Thanks, girl. I appreciate that.
I gave you a shout out on Raw too. I wasn't a believer.
Thank you.
But your voices were heard. They decided to take off the name from Moolah for the Battle Royale, and now it's just the Women's Battle Royale. So how do you guys feel about that decision?
Well, there's an interesting story. There's a wrestling trainer I know, Nigel Sherrod, and he's actually got a change.org going where he's trying to get Snickers to apologize. That supposedly he's interviewed a lot of women wrestlers that were with Moolah who are all saying the accusations are not true, and he's got videos and he's interviewed all of these women. I mean, not a lot, maybe 4 or 5 so far, and one of them actually was a wrestler on our show, Wow, on the original Wow. Her name was Thug on the show, but she's a pretty legendary wrestler, Peggy Lee Leather, and she's on video saying she was with Moolah for all these years. She was never pimped out. Moolah took a booking fee. And he's got a bunch of other wrestlers saying that as well. So I don't know what to believe, because I tend to believe a woman when she says something happened.
Right.
But there's like 5 other people that were with him for like 6 years, 13 years. I showed her the video and said that Moolah didn't do any of that stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, this is where it gets hard, because me and Lana were talking before the show where, you watch these videos and these different accusations, whether it happened or it didn't happen, but Moolah is not here to
defend,
speak for
yes.
herself. So it's difficult. You really have to just believe who you're going to believe in. And maybe it's best to go with a neutral name so that we're not offending anyone or praising anyone, and it's going to hurt a fan or be offensive for that matter. So I don't know. I think it's the best thing to keep it neutral.
Agreed.
Since we don't know.
Yes, I agree with you
Right.
for sure.
Well, the thing with that is you can't even give it a name now, because if you replaced her name with somebody else's name, then it's
like second place.
Right. So it's
Yeah.
they have to wait next year to that, which again, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter.
And
but
I noticed, sorry to interrupt you real quick. Sorry, I noticed when I was watching the WWE 24, the Women's Evolution, no Moolah was talked about at all. So they probably had to cut a lot of
edit it out,
stuff
yeah.
real quickly.
Yeah, I
It
saw
was
that was a
more
really
about
good
Mae Young.
video. Yeah.
And
So you've seen
Sensational
the
Cher.
whole thing?
The Women's Evolution.
It wasn't
It
that
was on the
long.
WWE 24.
Yeah, it was like it was maybe
was like
an
about
hour. It
4
wasn't
Is
that
this
long.
different than what's being released this summer? The
I'm not
DVD?
Sure.
I don't know, because I think it's in the DVD. It's supposed to be like a 3-part DVD. This was clearly not 3 parts.
Yeah, okay.
This was all about the women's, more so the Royal Rumble. But they talked about Wendy Richter. They talked about Sensational Sherry, Trish Lita, the women that paved the way and stuff
Okay.
like that. But one thing I did have a problem with that is they didn't add AJ Lee.
That's interesting.
That's my problem.
Well, I think
They haven't really.
backstage
They kind of left her out. on a
Yeah,
lot of
but I
stuff.
mean, in my opinion, if you're going to put CM Punk on your Raw 24 anniversary promo,
Right.
can you at least put AJ Lee? She's the one who literally was part of the revolution, gave that pipe bomb, and kind of changed the way.
Oh, and I'm
as well.
not saying that they shouldn't, but I've noticed through a lot of the stuff that the women have been doing, and the lead up to that, when they're talking about women of the past, she hasn't been mentioned at all.
I know.
So,
Sucks.
Well, I think this the DVD that is coming out this summer is different. It is called Then, Now, Forever: The Evolution of WWE's Women's Division. And they did mention that there could be possible talk of Moolah in there. So I wonder if, since it's probably edited already because it's for a June release, if they're going to censor what they've already tried to put in there about Moolah.
I'm confused, not confused, but I just wonder why they're putting it in DVD, because
Yeah,
DVDs
it's like,
are
who
not
watches DVD
as
anymore?
popular.
That's true. Like, are we doing Redbox anymore?
Right.
What's going on?
Right. I would think just put it on the network, but
or even if it's a paid thing, you have it streaming like via iTunes or etc. So
right,
you can,
or put it on Google or iTunes thing or something to get money out of it. But I mean, DVD, okay.
Just sounds better, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. We'll see.
I haven't bought a WWE DVD since I was like 14. So
Wait, how old are you again?
I am there.
Anissa, you're like 16.
Yeah,
I'm just-
right. Actually 12, so.
We'll see what happens with that. I mean, I don't think they should edit it out. It's still a part of history. Like with a lot of things, beyond wrestling.
Good or bad,
Yeah, good or
leave it
bad.
in.
You need to leave it in because everybody has skeletons in their closets. They might not be as big as that, but it's still something. So you can't really, say that. Yes, you might want to change the name, but she's still part of the history for women's wrestling. So you definitely have to include
As
that.
for my opinion last week, I got a little crazy. But as stuff was going, without this week, learning more into it, you have to also remember, and I realize I have to remember, this was back in the day. This was how, maybe if it was true, this is how wrestling probably really happened
40
behind
years
scenes.
ago.
So we
Yeah.
and we obviously weren't alive back in the day. We don't really know. And these women that Lana was mentioning were there, or had those experiences.
Right. Different times.
So a different time,
Different standards.
Yeah, and I think it's because we're now at the Me Too movement. Everyone's getting rowdy up about it.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Me Too, John Cena, I called it like I think
And Total Divas.
I called it Total Divas. Called a whole bunch of shows. John Cena is now rethinking possibly having kids. So I'm glad.
Surprise, surprise.
I know, didn't have to do the
Does
okey
he
doke
have
on me.
any already?
No.
No.
He was married before, and he's said that marriage took a lot out of him. He said he wasn't gonna get married. Now he's gonna get married. He was actually on an interview in Britain, I believe it was, and they were pretty much talking about it. And he said he's interested in doing it, which
Because of the movie that he just did.
Right. Blockers.
Blockers. He had that experience, and I'm just like, okay. But you didn't. You had
you
so
guys
many
have kids
experience
all the
with
time, yeah.
Right, with the Make-A-Wish. You didn't think about that
Right.
then?
But I mean, with the Make-A-Wish, you're kind of almost spending, a few moments with the kids, whereas Blockers, the kids,
It's a movie.
it's a movie, so that maybe in weeks and months that he spent with his kids, and
Right.
maybe he wants to leave his imprint. Like, why not?
Well, they say as an actor, when you're studying for a role, you really become your character. So some of these actors live who they are. So maybe after he did this role as a parent, he really feels as though he is now meant to be a parent because of.
Do you think he's just
his
too
acting
old
experience.
now because he's like 40-something?
No way.
No.
I mean, look
40,
at The Rock. I would have
I know.
babies with him now if I could. Are you kidding? If he was single?
No, girl, you can have that.
No, but he's 40 in athlete years, which is a little bit different. Like, I mean, he can still move around. He can still lift some weight. Like, it's not like he's gonna run up big. It's not like he's gonna be. It's
But you
gonna
have
be
to
hard
think
running
about
up
it.
his
Say he
kids.
has kids now with Nikki Bella,
Right.
which I personally think that would be a great show to have
That'd be
them on,
hilarious,
just
'cause they
them,
can't
just
even
them
take care of
two.
Winston.
Right. But by the time he's in his 60s, his kid's gonna be like 18.
But that's nothing new. That's a lot of.
No, I know that, but
One of
I
my
just-
coworkers, I don't know exactly how old she is, but she's in her maybe late 30s, early 40s. She's having a kid, and she said everybody, she drops her stepkids off. Everybody that she drops, when she drops her stepkids off to the school, everybody there are older parents.
Right.
So it's nothing new in this area. I don't know about anywhere else. But,
I think it's just weird because for me, I'm just so used to him not having kids. He's so all about
I think
his
he'll be
work,
amazing
and I
with
just
kids.
think right. But also, I think he's like, all right, let me just enjoy my life as not a parent, and then now it's like, all right, I've done whatever I wanted to do.
Right.
Let me just have
Very
some
LA.
shit. Exactly. Yeah.
Congratulations to them.
Yeah.
Well, moving on. Speaking of very LA, fabulous Lana.
Yeah.
So I actually watched all 4 seasons. I finished season 4. There's like a glitch in the system, by the way. So I mean,
So how'd you get it working?
well, it wasn't working on my phone. It wasn't working on my tablet. I got it to work on my smart TV. So that's the only place I was able to see it. So I don't know, but I don't know if we can make the announcement, but
No, not yet.
Okay, so talk to somebody about that one.
Yeah.
I can watch it.
I'll let you know.
Yeah. So I finally got to see season 4, and then I meet you in person. So like you leading up,
she is.
yeah, you leading up, it seems like typical LA and very, forgive my French, very bitchy. And then I meet you in person, you're amazing. And I only met you literally 5 minutes before we start the show, but I could read off the energy. So kudos for making us hate you.
Oh, thanks.
So I mean, it takes a
Good heel.
I love being a heel because you get to be the complete opposite, or you get to be actually maybe what's really inside. And you can't walk around like that all the time. So it's super fun, and I'm so stoked that I've been a heel this many years.
I love your character because it's just so LA, so what people think LA is about, and in reality, it's not. But
is it not really?
Well, I don't know. Well, someone that was born and raised here, but it's so fun to see different characters, and the way you portray it is amazing. I don't know. I like the character. I like how you do it.
Now, how did you get involved in, women's wrestling?
Since I was a little kid, I was super into wrestling. Like, I love the Heart Foundation, and I just wanted to be a wrestler. I also wanted to be a football player, which is, my dad was like, what? Like, you want to be a wrestler and a football player? So I was lucky enough, I actually got to do both because I played in the LFL also.
What team?
That's fun.
The New York Euphoria.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because I played for LA.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I played for 3 years.
I remember New York. Okay.
Yeah. And so I had an agent, the LA thing, and they sent me on an audition for WoW, and he was like calling me. He's like, leave. They want you to be a wrestler. He thought that they wanted me to be a host. And I'm like, I want to be a wrestler. I'm staying. So, I stayed. I went to that audition. Then they had like a tryout where you came for a week and you did all this. They kind of do the same thing now. You do all this training and, I passed and I made it, even though originally our trainer Selena did not like me and wanted to get rid of me.
Wow.
And now I'm still here. It's been like forever.
Yeah,
I think
you
she
the
likes
longest?
me now.
Like, you've been around the longest, right?
Me,
As one of the wrestlers?
Loca, Jungle Girl.
All 3.
Yeah, I might be leaving somebody else.
Did you see that one sheet, that one clip where Jungle Girl is racing, oh my gosh, what's the owner's name again?
David McLean?
They're racing on the beach.
Oh, yeah.
Hilarious.
I think that was last.
Yeah,
That's funny.
I think it's season 4.
Racing.
Yeah, she bet him $50. That had me kind of chuckling. Sorry.
I do remember that. That actually had me laughing.
He'll do anything for $50.
Yeah.
So you get there. You're now like in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like what was your expectation compared to what actually happened?
Okay, so I'd always wanted to wrestle, and then when I started doing it, I was like, this is not what I thought at all. I'm like, this freaking hurts. Like, I don't know what I thought, but yeah, it was not at all what I expected. And, I was always sore, but I'm happy, I went through it and I stuck with it. And it was just fun bringing the character to life. And I love being part of WoW because, it was all girls. And especially at that time, there wasn't even hardly any girls, like, maybe the Godfather's hose on WWE. So girls having their own show was like pretty amazing at that time. I mean, there was Glow, the original Glow before us. And I think we were a little bit more than Glow, like more like athletic and stuff. It was a little more even comedy. So I was really, happy in that they gave me some control over my character.
And how did you come up with this character?
Well, actually, I was originally for a minute going to be the beach patrol, which is so not me. I don't really like things outside. I don't like the ocean. I'm not a beach person.
I don't like the beach either.
Yeah, I'm so not a beach person, and so I'm glad that they figured that out pretty fast. And I think he wanted a heel that was kind of glamorous, and so it was kind of his, I think it was David and Selena probably came up with it a little bit, and then, I expanded on it because I was like, oh yeah, I could do this. This will be fun.
And now, so you get to, what's your training like for because you've been doing this for several years. So like, how do you remain in shape? And you also go to a lot of like WrestleCon, so obviously you can't like let yourself get out of shape. So what's your kind of training regimen?
Well, back then we trained like 6 days a week for like 3 months before we had our first show. And we did a lot of training, but then we train on and off now. So you have to keep something going on your own. So I have a trainer I work with sometimes, and I hike all the time. I have a dog that's totally crazy and has to go on like 5-mile hikes every day, or she's tears my house up. So I do a lot of exercise, and I eat a lot better now than I did back then. I'm like, I don't even know how I got through half the things I did back then.
Fast metabolism.
Yeah, I don't know. I eat, low carb now.
Somebody on the chat asked, will you ever appear on Shimmer or Shine?
I'm very happy in WoW, and right now we've got a lot of things going on, and I'd just love to, build our audience and get it bigger, and I'd like to do anything to help our company. I mean, I'm not opposed to other things, but right now I'm with WoW, and I'm happy.
And what has been your most memorable experience working with WoW?
Oh my gosh. I guess being the champion, because I had been on the original WoW, and, I used to come up with the Lana Star show, and it was about me, but I never had anything to solidify, that I was doing a good job. So when they, when it became that I was the champion, I was like, yeah, I think this is pretty awesome. And, I've been trying to get that belt back for so long, and I just decided recently that I think I want the tag team belts, because there's like 2 of them instead of 1 belt. So, I have a girl with me, Amber O'Neil, who is now the Beverly Hills Babe, and she's like fantastic wrestler. I was injured for a while, so I was managing her. And sometimes I'd be watching her when I'm managing, and I'm like, oh man, I should do something, because I'm just like watching her because she's so good. So I think we could be an awesome tag team, and I'd love to go after the tag team belts.
And what happened to, is it Miss Kitty?
Oh, yeah.
She kind of like was there, and then nobody said anything about her. She's no longer...
I have assistants all the time.
Okay.
And they always end up doing something and they get fired. But that one was really upsetting to me, because I really liked that one. I wouldn't mind if we could have her back and maybe have her manage me and Amber. That would be awesome. But she is now on Lucha, and she's beautiful Brenda.
Oh.
Yeah. So I would like to have her back,
And she had a good role, especially with the beer hitting people over the head.
Yeah.
So now you've seen a lot of people come and go. Is there one match in particular with a particular individual that, you when you think about wrestling, that's the kind of first match that comes to mind?
With, like, that I've wrestled?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed wrestling Spike. She's Hudson Envy on the Indies. She's really good, so it was a lot of fun. But I mean, wrestling Jungle Girl was great too. I don't know, it's hard to pick one, but I really like Spike.
Dan Masters Live, I think he's a super fan.
Oh, and he's also like one of Lana's best friends.
He's our ring announcer.
All right, Dan, thank you for the fact. He said Lana has had more camera time than anyone else in the history of the company, including David McClain. So just want to put that out there. I'm just reading what they're saying on the chat.
Dan just got me fired. David, you can have a lot of camera time next season.
Repeating what's on the chat. Just not me.
Hi, Dan.
Now, so did you say it was Jungle Girl? I just got caught up in the...
No, I loved wrestling Jungle Girl, but I lost the belt to her, so I don't love it that much. But definitely, I think my matches with Spike were really fun, and I got to do a lot of new moves that I hadn't done previously in any seasons, and I enjoyed working with her.
So speaking of seasons, so season 5 is coming up, right? Did they announce when, where, and when? Can you guys?
Lana.
I don't even.
I know less than you probably.
I don't even know.
Okay.
Soon.
So you guys can't give us the time and a date, but do you guys know like what your matchups are gonna be, or do they just like say, here's the date, here's the time, a month before, make sure you get your training in, and this is what to expect, like this is who you're going against, or do they give you some prep times, or how does it work?
Oh, so we train, and then we do a big show, and we cut that up into seasons, and we put in little skits and all the stuff to go with it. So then they make a season out of that. So then we don't know when it airs.
So
But we know like probably a month ahead who we're wrestling.
okay.
Yeah.
So how do you come up with these skits, like you and Amber?
Oh, we do have writers on the show, but a lot of it is like
Like, do you have creative control
Ad-lib.
with it as well?
yeah, we could actually. Funny enough, I think it was on season 4. I have a friend that owns like beauty spa. She does things like Botox and like
Oh, I love this
filler.
story.
Yeah, so Amber is like turning into at that time my new assistant. So she's like, "Oh, girl," because she's from North Carolina or something. She's like, "I need the Hollywood treatment." So we called up my friend in the morning. I'm like, "Hey, do you have any appointments? Could we come in and film something?" And my friend's like, "Yeah, I've got one at 12 if you guys can hurry." So we go down there with the crew, and my friend's like putting needles
Yeah, I
in
saw that.
Amber's
No.
face. Yeah, and they,
Like real?
oh yeah, she got
Oh, yeah,
Botox.
she got Botox for a while,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
And I was all
my
mad. I was like, "Oh man, I just got Botox, and she just got free Botox."
You paid full price.
Yeah.
It's hysterical.
So yeah, we'll think of just things if they think it's funny or good.
That
you know?
is so funny.
Yeah, because we're lucky. Like my character, like we can do funny things. Like some other people, they can't. But
So we actually had Dagger on the show. She was actually our very first guest, and she's vying for that championship.
yeah.
And I know you said you want the tag team, but what are your hopes as far as how you think it's going to play out for season 5?
season 5, season 5 is done,
Oh
right?
no! Well, season 4 is on air now. Season 5 is done.
Season 5 will be coming out this year.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
so
is there
we'll be
any-
going into season 6.
Is there anything you could tell us about season 5 since it's already been recorded that you can
No.
that people know to watch out for?
Well, I think you already got the tease that she is looking to get that tag team championship belt.
No,
That is one.
Season 5, I'm still trying to get the WoW
Well,
championship
yeah,
belt.
you are technically, yeah.
But
But you're working with other people.
Yeah, now I'm thinking I've got some new ideas and plans.
Okay.
So yeah.
Always write them down.
So for season 6, actually, ultimately, I would love to have me and Beverly Hills Babe wrestle Dagger and Temptress, like in a championship match for the belts. I mean, I guess we'd have to eliminate a lot of other people first.
Somebody asked, Star Drew asked, did WoW come on in 2004? I guess that's.
Well, your first
yeah.
year in WoW is 2000, right? Isn't that when you auditioned?
Oh wow.
So when was the first broadcast?
Oh,
or-
2000.
2000.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it came back in, think it started coming back in 2014. So we've been going for.
Because there was a
4 years,
hiatus,
a
and then they came
long
back.
hiatus.
Oh, wow.
That's why I'm the longest reigning WoW champion.
Oh, because I just thought it was just like live shows, and they just didn't get the airing part, but they literally just stopped production.
They
Okay.
stopped.
And it was on cable, right? Prior.
Yeah, Channel 13 in LA every Saturday night, I think, at 11 p.m.
So when you wrestle in the ring, how do you with your style is obviously different. How did you come up with the different moves of your character
Oh,
to make it sure it's your character?
well,
That makes sense.
I mean, I did steal some of my moves from Chris Jericho. I have to admit, my finishing move, that was one of his, but I always admired him. So, I just, when I would do a move, I would just add a Lana to it at the end, the hair toss or the flip or, something snotty, just to make it a little different.
Now, beyond wrestling, any other projects that you're working on?
Currently, besides wrestling now, I'm just, auditioning stuff. I've got a Comic-Con appearance in Salem, Oregon. I think it's April 21st and 22nd. I'll be signing there. So
And don't you guys do the what is it, San Diego Comic Con too?
San Diego and LA Comic-Con. Yeah, but this one will be exciting because it's different. Oregon, it'll be raining.
Well, when are you going on? When are you going out Oregon in?
April 21st and 22nd.
No,
I think
the sun's gonna come out. You're gonna be good.
yeah,
Yeah.
Cherry. I think it's called Cherry City Comic Con.
Yeah, you're gonna be good. I used to live in Oregon, so
Oh,
the
yeah?
sun usually
Okay.
sun will come out a little after March, so you're good. Now, as far as all that, is there anybody that you haven't wrestled that you're looking forward to wrestling?
I would like the dagger and temptress. I think that would be really fun.
And let me expand a little bit more. Anybody that you want to wrestle and like from any other promotion.
Oh, I just had this question asked to me, like one of my friends, and I was thinking if I was going to wrestle anybody, I'd love it to be Trish Stratus because
that's great.
one, she's awesome, and two, how much publicity would that get? Because she'd be like coming back, and they'd be like, "She's wrestling who?" And I think that'd be
good.
a good idea.
All right, so we have as far as your social media, where can people find you?
Real Lana Star on Twitter, and my Facebook is Wow Lana, and my Instagram is Miss Lana Ashley, but spelled ASHLEIGH. And I think I have like 2 more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like another one is wow_Lana. There's a lot.
Yeah, we gotta clean that up a little bit.
I don't know.
So we are gonna kind of talk about. She's actually gonna be our feature guest next week.
Yes.
So Star of the Week, take it away, Gaby.
So for our Woman of the Week in wrestling, we are talking about Taya Valkyrie. Taya is phenomenal. Me and Lana were both at WrestleCade back in November. She actually wrestled with Evilise, and this was the first time I ever saw Taya. I thought she was phenomenal. Great in-ring character. She can be seen on Impact, Lucha Underground, Lucha Libre. So you may know her from any of these things, or ECCW. Here's a little clip of her wrestling recently. And she's also engaged to John Morrison, who you guys may know as Johnny Impact, Johnny Mundo, Johnny Nitro, or Johnny Hennigan.
They might be married
or John
now,
Hennigan.
you don't know.
No, well, they're actually set for, I think, maybe a month or 2 from now, or 3 months to get married. They're engaged at the current moment. And, it's interesting because her background, most of these wrestlers either were in some type of sport or athletics, and she was in ballet and gymnastics since age 4. And then in 2005, she began, doing fitness competitions, and she was second in the Arnold Amateur back in 2011. So this girl's a really strong girl. Mm-hmm. A lot of muscle on her. And she trained with Lance Storm at Storm Wrestling Academy. I think she's amazing. If you've seen her on Impact, her intro is kind of like a Game of Thrones-esque video and character, and she's best as a heel, in my opinion. So if you guys haven't checked her out, definitely try to go to a live show or, YouTube some of her lucha stuff and Impact. She's now on both, so it's going to be an exciting upcoming season for that.
Yeah, and if you guys are going to go to Barr Wrestling next month, she's always there. She's always performing. I love watching her wrestle. She's so
one of
entertaining.
the nicest people.
She
so nice.
is. Oh my gosh. And she comes in as regular as herself or as in her Game of Thrones costume heel. So it's fun. You got to watch her. She's entertaining.
And you can watch her on next week because she's going to be our guest.
She will be our guest in studio, right?
Yeah.
Or on the phone in studio?
In studio.
Great, yes. Even
So,
better.
that kind of wraps it up. So, start with you, Anissa. Put yourself over.
You can follow me on social media at Anissa Barr.
Me?
Yes.
You can follow me on Twitter at Real Lana Star or Facebook Wow Lana, or you can just find me on all the others.
Just Google and you'll find one of them.
And then after you find these two, make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Gaby Loren TV. I am here on Wednesdays with Women's Pro Wrestling Weekly and Tuesday nights for SmackDown Live on AfterBuzz. And Season 5, Wow Women of Wrestling, we will let you know when we got those updates.
Please do. Want to know what's going to happen. So on our YouTube page, make sure to subscribe, AfterBuzz TV Wrestling and Sports. Also follow us on Twitter. We have WPW Weekly. Also on AfterBuzz, AfterBuzz TV. Give us five stars on iTunes, please do. We also read all your comments on YouTube, so please keep them coming. Other than that, we know you have a lot of podcasts, a lot of wrestling podcasts in particular that are everywhere. It's very saturated. We appreciate you guys for joining us, watching us, leaving comments, all that good stuff. Other than that, you can follow me on everything at TK Trinidad. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Kevin Undergaro, Maria Menounos, Phil Svitek, producer TK Trinidad, and me, Mark Donica, your voice of AfterBuzz TV Wrestling, we ask you to rate and comment on iTunes, subscribe to AfterBuzz Wrestling on YouTube, and find us on all social media. Thank you for watching Women's Pro Wrestling Weekly. See you next week.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.